Welcome into the Auburn Gymnastics Report. We talk it over with Tigers head coach Jeff Grabe. A very successful night for the Tigers in their final home match of the season. Went in and did the job that you were wanting to do. One, you wanted to honor your lone senior on the team and to kind of regroup a little bit with regard to your team score as well, Coach.
Yeah, I was actually really happy with the way the night went. We talked before the meet that it's a hard night to manage emotions. Nikki Galuzzo, our senior, had been through so much, and I think the team really was trying to rally around her. And there's a lot of emotion with just the fact that she was doing a bar routine, coming back from all of her previous, the surgery and all the stuff that you have to go through to get back into swinging bars when you go through a shoulder surgery. So I think there was a lot of emotion there, but I also think there was a lot of emotion with the girls just trying to. They just wanted to get a good one under their belt, and they did a good job with that.
Give us her story. Give us a little bit of the backstory on your lone senior, if you would.
Well, she had originally went to the University of Pittsburgh and was a pretty highly recruited girl out of high school. Transferred to us her sophomore year as a walk-on, so she walked on her first year and did about 6 routines for us and did a really good job basically on bars for us. But she got to us, she was a little bit dinged up, and it was the shoulder was always something we had to manage. And it just was one of those things that over time it made more sense to do a little bit of a cleanup in the shoulder, knowing that this was going to be a problem if she couldn't get back. So she's basically it was about 1 year to Friday night. So she had that night targeted because she knew that they were going to let her compete at that meet, and it was senior night, so to her it was a huge deal to actually just be able to go out and do a bar routine. So
what was that routine like for you and for her to be able to finally get back and compete?
Well, I just think it's good for our young people to see it validates hard work. I mean, she's worked so hard and got no rewards for it. The last year she never got up onto an award stand. She never got recognized for a good score. She was one of those people who just kept her head down and put the hard work in, and it was grueling and it's painful and everything that you can imagine coming back from something like that. I think it just shows that hard work pays off to our young people, and that's, I think, why they were so tied into it. They just really saw a girl who was, she wasn't trying to break a lineup. She wasn't trying to get a 995. She was just trying to get a bar routine done and sort of validate her career. And I thought it was about as good as it could possibly go for us.
All right. In addition to her routine and the senior night, you did turn things around with regard to your score. After a struggle at Kentucky, you turned things around and post one of your best scores ever.
Yeah. Well, it's what I say this all the time. They do this in practice, and I like to see that we can do it in a meet. We've looked like we've been starting to put the ball together a little bit. We had 3 slow events for Georgia and then 1 good one. We had 1 slow event for Kentucky and had 3 good ones. So I was hoping that the trend was going to hold, and we were actually going to be able to put all 4 together. And I think they're just settling down. They just decided, we got to quit pressing so much and trying so hard and just go out there and do what we're good at. And it's nice to see that what we try to train, you practice like you compete and you compete like you practice. And for young people, it's hard for them to figure that out. And it seems like they're getting it figured out.
Give us a couple key performances, if you would.
Well, Caitlyn Atkinson had one of her best nights. She's always one of the people that we need to lean on, especially without Bree. She needs to, carry her load at the end of the lineup. She did a great job for us. I thought Karen Caduce did a great job for us. I thought Cullen Lawick did a really good job for us. She's come in on 2 events that weren't her main events and has really settled down and started to do a really, really nice job. And finally, Lexis Demers is, she was really hot at the beginning of the year, and then she had some struggles when we changed her beam routine around, and now she seems to be hitting her stride again.
All right. On the road now, the Tigers are done performing at Auburn Arena on the road and at Alabama on Friday night. Talk just about what that atmosphere is like. We all know about the rivalry, but what is that rivalry like when it comes to gymnastics?
It's very much like football up there. It's it's going to be 15,000 people. They'll pack the arena for us, and it's going to be a hostile environment, which, for gymnastics, I think that actually helps us. We love, going in and keeping our head down. And for a young team, I think it's easier to go on the road sometimes especially in a really charged environment, than it is to be at home in a charged environment, because they have so much personal attachment to our home people here. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's typically been a good meet for us. It's typically been a good warm-up. We wanted to do this, a good warm-up for the postseason. Boy, you're not going to get a tougher environment than this going right into SECs and regionals. So we're looking at it as a great opportunity for us to take the next step.
What can you do if you post another really good score this time on the road?
Well, the next two meets are extremely important for us score-wise. They're away meets, and if we do a good job in the next two meets, if we do a good job this Friday, it can definitely help our rankings. And then we go into SECs and we get one more opportunity to manage our rankings as high as we can. In the end, it's really hard because you don't know how the seeding is going to go, but you're trying to give yourself the benefit of the doubt and try to get as high as you can. I'd love to get into the top 10, and we're 11th right now, so if we can keep chipping away at the stone, we've really moved very close to the number 10 spot, so hopefully we can break into the top 10 here.
7:30 on Friday night. Any concern at all that the memory of what happened at home against Alabama, and that was the match where Bree Guy tore the Achilles. I mean, any holdover or any concern about that as you go to Tuscaloosa?
No, I think the teams actually those 2 weeks, the Kentucky and Georgia meets, I think there was some concern there, but I think they've moved on beyond that. I think having Bree with us at this last meet, she did not go with us to Kentucky. I think having her on the floor helps because it just allows these girls to see that she's there still supporting her, that things have changed, but they also are very similar. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think the environment's going to be fun. I think it's going to be an issue for young people, but they better be able to handle it because it doesn't get easier. SECs and regionals isn't a whole lot easier.
Well, you have Bree with you in Tuscaloosa.
Yep, we're going to bring her up, and we figured out how to get her little scooter on the bus. So, and she was pretty frustrated. She hasn't been with us, so I don't want to deal with Bree anymore. We're taking her with us.
All the best, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Tigers head coach Jeff Grabo on the Auburn Gymnastics Report.